What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about how a micro business, I'm talking about businesses that are less than 10 people, 1 to 10. I talked to a buddy last week. I said, I help a lot of small businesses. He's like, what does that mean? Pre-revenue? Small businesses technically are under 100 people. I think 100 people is actually a pretty big business. I like working with businesses that are like 1 to 10 because you know the work that you're doing has to be very effective. You got to be hitting the mark. You got to be acquiring customers profitably, servicing them, fulfilling them. There's got to be positive cash flow. You have to be making money. Otherwise, the thing doesn't go on very long. So today I'm talking about how micro businesses can crush it by using ads the smart way. So how do we do this effectively for your small business? And we start with the main problems. So number one, most small businesses struggle with this, like pricing too low, saying yes to all jobs because you need the money and you take on jobs that are less profitable because you need cash. Or three, just setting boundaries and you say yes to doing a bunch of things that you shouldn't be doing in a project because you're afraid the client's going to leave or say no and all these things. But all of these problems get solved if you have consistent leads in your business. If you have consistent leads, you have confidence to price higher. You have confidence to say no to the jobs you shouldn't do because you know better jobs are coming in. And you set boundaries because you know if the client leaves, you're just going to find a better client. So all problems get solved with leads. And that's why having a system, like particularly ads that drive new business into your business, is critical. If you have those things, you go from playing defense to playing offense. Then you start thinking, how do I get the right people in place to do this work? And you transform the problems that your business has from how do I get business to how do I actually run a business? Okay. So we're going to do all these things. I'm going to take you through a case study of my friend Craig. So Craig is a local music teacher here in Encinitas. He came to me and we started talking about how he could get more customers, how he did it. I said, I have this system. It's amazing. It's worked for other businesses. I think it could work for you. We tried it. It was awesome. And it was so life-changing for Craig. I saw what it did for him and his business. And I thought, I need to get this in the hands of more people. So that's why I'm here today. And if you can relate to Craig, maybe he's behind on his own finances, stressed about money, afraid to say no to all the people taking advantage of him because he was afraid students are going to leave and he had bills to pay. But he's an amazing teacher and he has enthusiasm for his business and it shows when he works with his students. They're all award-winning, really good at what he does, not great at driving new business. So I think there's a lot of people out there who are really great at their craft. They love doing what they do, but if they could just have some help getting more clients, be a good situation. So I'm Mike. I've been promoting events. I've been promoting businesses for since college. I got started in early 2000s building a website for the university athletic department, promoting events online. I loved it. And then I worked for a major tech company and we helped promote events online. And then I've worked with hundreds of small businesses since then. I've left. I've been a freelance consultant for about 5 years, helping hundreds of small businesses with everything from websites, SEO, lead gen, ads. And this program that I'm about to show you now is probably the most powerful thing that I've figured out. There's some nuances that we're going to go through and how to make this thing work. It's awesome. I love it. Okay. So before we get started, I just want to share what Craig said to me. I've wasted a lot of money trying to market my school, but never had results like this. So just having those leads show up gave him so much confidence to go to the next level in his business. And that's what we want to answer the question. How do we make this happen for you starting today as quickly as possible? So let's dig in. Let's say you're running a business and you had infinite time. What would we do? I always think about it. We want to provide our customers with the best experience, right? So if we had infinite time, it would be like, what we might do if we were hosting a wedding, right? You would go introduce yourself to people. You would talk to them, have a conversation, get to know them, understand what they need, what are their problems, understand if your solution could help them. And then, they would go through this whole process of making a decision and getting started. And that's if we had infinite time. Obviously, nobody has infinite time. That's our biggest constraint. So we want to know, how do we use technology to create an experience that's as close to this as we can without the time? So we want to be able to introduce ourselves to people, have a conversation, understand, could they try this out and see, and then they can make a decision and get started. Okay. And this whole process is kind of like bowling, when you put the bumpers up and the ball just is like might go in the gutter, but it gets bumped back in the lane. we're doing that to people as they come through our system. We're just like bumping them back in the lane if it makes sense for them to work with us. And so our goal is really to start a conversation with people and then to bump them to the next step if it makes sense to do so. And we're going to do that with Facebook ads. There's this amazing tool that I used on this. You may have come through and seen this training as I'm running ads on this. It's called the Facebook lead ads tool. So we run an ad on Facebook. We send it to the lead ads tool. It pre-populates name, email, phone number, whatever you want it to be. Then you take that lead and you can do something like text it to yourself using a tool like Zapier. You get the text immediately. Then you can respond, and we do that as fast as possible because the longer from when a lead comes in to when we respond, we're exponentially losing momentum with that customer. So when I was in corporate, if a lead came in and you didn't respond in 60 minutes, you just about lost that customer. So we need to be fast. So we respond, we send them a text, we send an email, we get them moving, we give them a free training, and then we offer the ability to schedule digitally so you don't have to be there saying like, oh, this time works, does that time work? Just give them your calendar, let them schedule it. And all of this can be set up for pretty cheap. So I'm just kind of blasting through this now. You guys can decide, if you want to pause or what. But pretty much any local business, and you can scale up from this. I like to start with $7 a day. We run ads. We see if the ads resonate. We see if we're getting leads. Then they come through the lead tool. This is a free tool on Facebook. We can automate the leads going to our systems on Zapier for $25 a month. We respond with our own effort, and we use Calendly, which is a free tool. This whole system costs $225 a month for you to get ads up and running. It's amazing. It's literally so cheap. And depending on what your ad is, it can be extremely profitable. We'll talk about those numbers in a second. So if you're in a business where you're grinding, you don't know where the business is coming from, and you want to grow, what's stopping you from getting there? Well, it's awareness of this type of solution even existing, a skill set on how to implement this solution, and just maybe your mindset, maybe believing in yourself that something like this could work for you. So you got to ask yourself, what's holding you back from where you are now to where you want to be? And how do you cross that gap? So here's a look at some of the real numbers from Craig's campaign. Again, local music teacher. So we're doing this in a very specific geography. I think we could do this in a, when I run stuff nationally, it's actually easier than it is to run locally because you just have access to a much bigger audience. So we go add, lead tool, response, and so on. And you can see that leads for Craig were coming through. We ran about $230, 30 leads, almost $8 per lead. So we're getting about one per day on $7 a day. And we're reaching over 6,000 people in the local area. So what happens when you do this? So I had it set up where I was getting all of Craig's leads and I was seeing them come through every day. And then I turned that off because it was too much. And I just messaged him. I said, hey, just want to confirm you're still getting leads. He said, yes, this works great. I've had 2 scheduled for a visit, 1 interested for Saturday morning, 3 potential of what we were doing just in this time. Thanks for all that you do. Not all my years of teaching have I had this kind of consistent leads. So, and I know in my conversations with Craig, it's hard to sometimes articulate out there, but how life-changing this has been for him. It's really been awesome. And it's fun to have a business that can grow. You get excited about it, So we do this for Craig. It's awesome. What would it mean to have this in your business? I know the economics for Craig. If he gets a customer that pays him $125 a month for music lessons, that's $1,500 a year. So if you got 30 leads and you close 3 new clients every month, you're paying $210 a month, but you're adding $4,500 to your annual revenue potential in that. So that's pretty good economics. If you ran this for a few months, like you got a little business going there. And you also get referrals, you get word of mouth, and you get all the impressions of people learning about your business that haven't opted in yet. So one of the things I showed you when we were looking at these leads, you got 30 leads, yes, but you got 6,000 people that saw your business is out there. So somewhere in the back of your mind, you're building your brand with all these people. Very powerful tool. So eventually you're going to have to figure out what to do with your business. You're going to have to change. The problem isn't where do I get clients? It's how do I operate an actual business, which is exciting. I've seen this happen, and I've had to go in and consult businesses on what to do next, because this system can really generate a lot of leads for your business. So question is, how do you make this happen ASAP? Well, one, you can just take all the information that I showed you and start implementing. There's stuff out there. You can YouTube how to set up Facebook lead ads tool and all these things. Two, if this is interesting to you, schedule a call with me and let's talk through it. I've actually got a program that you can go through that has step-by-step how to do it. But shoot me a message and I'll get that to you. And if you want this done for you, you want somebody that knows exactly how to do this, how to set it up, how to make it work, schedule a call with me and let's talk about it. I'm really good at this. I love it. It's so life-changing that I really enjoy working on these projects. So if that's something that you want, let me know. And I'm excited for you. If you put this into practice and you get wins, let me know. I want to hear about it. And good luck. We'll talk soon.